what's Missin Curfew? It's when you kind of play guilty, but you show up.
How nice is a green light on the road, though? No practice tomorrow, no plane, just go.
Scotty Upshaw in the clear, and he scores! Right in front, scores!
A few laughs, a little bit of fun, and obviously a lot of hockey talk.
You're listening to Missin Curfew.
Fellas, coming to you from Hall Pass Media, Newport Beach, this is Missin Curfew. William Scotty Updog is back in studio from Costa Rica, and we got the Richie fella coming to us from the Wasted Management in Scottsdale. Boys, nice to see you. Updog, welcome back.
Thanks, fella. Good to be back. Felt like it was a nice little reset, although I didn't dive too much into the ayahuasca like our boy Aaron Rodgers in the Netflix series. But yeah, man, it was a nice trip. Family little getaway. Spent some time with my buddy Jesse and his family on the new. Played a lot of golf, folks. New discovery track. Zapital just opened up. Mike Melman was down there to. What's funny at these courses, we talk about Gosser a lot or Chileno Bay, but you know he's got to get down there and see the course and play it first before he lets anyone play all the holes, right? So it was a big week.
Does he doctor the holes up and be like, hey, listen, I don't like that. I missed one in the rough there. Let's trim that to fairway? Or
I think he just likes getting the course record on each one first, right? Gotcha. Stabilize. I think he shot a 77. He's gotten better since I've known him. Goes out there. No, but played behind him at McKenna the first time I met him, Chaz, man.
Chaz Michaels.
Yeah, but listen, awesome trip. Weather was incredible. The food was great. Went out fishing. What did we catch? We caught a lot of grouper.
Nice.
And then we came back and fried them one day. It was pretty awesome. It was like a little Newfie fish fry.
A couple carp and
a little fish and chips or what?
Yeah, it was good. I didn't come back. I put a lot of sunscreen on, stayed out of the sun. I can't say the same for Beckham and Izzy. They were out there just blistering all week. It was good.
You got to get a burn. You got to get a burn to get a base.
It's fun. It's Canadians are just all about getting burnt when you go somewhere, right?
You got to get a burn to get a base, Rich.
Yeah. If you can, it's nice if you can keep the base layer for sure. But yeah, if you're Canadian, you go down there, you got the sandal tan going and flip-flop tan.
The sock tan up to here. You're like, Jesus Christ, bud, tighten it up.
Just over the ankles.
Speaking of Costa Rica, I was telling you today when I saw you at Big Canyon, I watched the second episode of that Aaron Rodgers, and I was talking to Swish and Richie about it when you're gone. That takes place in Costa Rica. Now, I'm interested in doing an ayahuasca trip. I told these boys that the sauna part spooks me a bit. I don't think I could sit in there for 2 hours. Now, you got to be able to come and go as you want, but he did it right in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
So is that near where you're at, or do you know anyone down there that could sign us up for that? I'd like to take loops down there. To be honest,
you know what, Opes? I know Peru is a big place. Costa Rica. I think anywhere where it just kind of they have a jungle kind of tribal.
Yeah,
where the culture.
Peru's farther than Costa Rica.
Peru's a little further, but it's not like Nicaragua, Peru. They're all kind of right there. Colombia's not too far. Check that out.
I want to go to Colombia for different reasons than ayahuasca, though. I can tell you, I'm going to Colombia. Yeah. I told Mac Miller before she moved in, I'm going to Colombia with Billy Quinn before anything. My life is over. Just so you know, before you move all your stuff, before you move all your stuff over here to this side of the fucking planet, I'm going to Colombia with Billy Quinn.
I think isn't Billy going in a month or so. I think so. That might be.
Rumor has it Billy's going in there.
Yeah,
you know, for a little work,
stemmer,
little stem cell work. Yeah.
That might be the time. Just
I don't know. I want to go in there when he doesn't have any commitments about stem cell or anything.
That's true.
I just want to go in and go. I want to go buck Diddy and just see what the locals are all about. Rich. Would you ever do that ayahuasca?
I would 100%. Yeah, if we're gonna get back to that, I think it's. I think everyone should, especially leaving the game of hockey. Like the amount of trauma and time spent, in the mental side of things, and then just like clearing your head, man. I think all of us, the way we were brought up, we all carry some sort of trauma or, a history of concussions. And, you just hear from people say it changes your life. You hear from people it changes their life for the better more than you hear the crazy stories about like, I fucking went to hell and back and I shit myself or whatever the case may be. You hear more of like, wow, it was a life-changing experience.
I think they have someone to wipe your ass if you do shit yourself. You had a coach right there. You got a coach right there, right?
A shaman, yeah. You get the shaman there.
Loops. I was talking to Loops today. He's like, fucking getting a live-in nanny. I'm like, fuck, what's that going to run you there, bud? He's like, $5,000 a week. He goes, I'm hoping I don't have to change any diapers. I go, for $5,000 a week, she should wipe your ass for you. Hey, come here over here. Fuck, hey, while you're out of here. Hey, I got some dude wipes here, fella.
So he's going live in.
I want
He's-
to
that's
do
good.
Quince's, Kyle Quincy's thing
Yep.
first.
Yeah.
He's got
Yeah,
the,
they're
like,
doing
getting
ayahuasca
into
up
DMT.
there. Yep.
So I had a brief chat with him in the hot tub in Aspen there, but
A lot of good conversations in the hot tub. A lot of good conversations in the hot tub.
time machine there. But he kind of was convincing me and Teddy to try it. So I might go do it with him and just check it out. And he said that's kind of the first step. It's not quite as intense as ayahuasca, but he said it really clears the mechanism, clears the head, and you kind of reset your brain in a way.
Yeah, I'm interested in it too. And yeah, Quince, I think, invited us, him and Carbomb last year. It just didn't because he built a whole compound in
A whole ranch, right?
Yeah, ranch where you go there with the boys and
Yeah.
activity. I would like to do it with all my closest, guys I play with and friends. Like I want the boys around there, like in case he really does turn sideways, fella. Rich, fuck me, grab something, bud. I
got you, baby.
Give me a towel for fuck's sake, some ice cubes. But I am intrigued in it, and the one thing I did take out of the Netflix special for Aaron Rodgers, a lot of love came out of it. Like there was a lot of hugging and fuck, everyone's like, loving each other afterwards. So if that's the case, and if it, gives you some clarity, which I think it does, I'm all for that.
Yeah, there's two ways to look at it. One is going to do it with your buddies who you know the whole way through, and then another would be just probably doing it with like strangers and just like kind of just opening up and being like, fucking, I've been a disaster.
Hey, how dark are your secrets, bud? Hey,
I've
come
been a
over here.
disaster for the last 13 years. Yeah.
Hey, how much time you got, buddy? Hey, come over here. I got a story for you about 2010. Have a seat here.
You want to crack one here? Yeah.
This one weekend in Hollywood, me and the boys, we were fucking.
So, the way you look at it, though, you want to support like whoever's in the, in the journey with you. But yeah, sometimes it might be just good to be like in the jungle, fucking solo mission.
They were in the jungle.
I think that was A-Rod's whole thing, right?
Yeah, they came out of this fucking tent, steam and sauna where the guy the fucking local was putting rocks in there. And they came out after 2 hours and jumped in this creek that looked like a mud puddle. And it looked like they were swimming in the most beautiful water in the world. They were all just laying in there. Like, it was like mud creek water, but they didn't seem to care. That's how hot they were. I get it.
Yeah. And it's so everything's kind of natural there. Like I'm sure the place he was at is like inhabited fucking natural springs. And, I talked to Lupul's old man before I went, and he's like, years ago, I went to this volcano that has all these like natural hot springs around it. It's only an hour drive from the airport you landed at. And it just so within like an hour, couple hour drive, you can either be on the beach or you can be in like the desert sort of area during the dry season, or probably like A-Rod or Aaron Rodgers.
He was in the jungle.
He was in the fucking heavy jungle.
You in the jungle, baby.
Yeah. You in the jungle,
You
baby.
in the jungle, baby. Yeah, it was.
So, yeah.
It was intense.
Yeah.
It looked intense. It didn't look like it was over the top, like because he's so rich. It just seemed like a normal kind of setup here. Like come in here, let's get her going, meet everybody.
Was A-Rod in the documentary with?
No, it was Aaron Rodgers. So I said A-Rod.
Yeah. So it's Aaron. It's about Aaron Rodgers going down there and doing it himself. And it's interesting actually. And like he talks about how he's what's the word he used, a perfectionist and stuff like that. Like it's crazy. And then he talks about Rich, climbing the mountain and being, Super Bowl MVP and winning the Lombardi Trophy, and he thinking that would give him all the happiness he wanted in the world. And then he's like, you get there and you're just not that satisfied. He's like, then what? Now what do I do? Right? So it was kind of cool to hear that. Like I reached, because I always thought if I ever won a Stanley Cup, I'd be like, fucking, I don't care what happens after this, right? Fucking,
it's all internal battles and internal challenges, right?
Yeah.
You just a little rattle. The chest broke up with him. Maybe that.
I think that was it, eh? I think that was. I think so. Hey?
You came humming in there with the heat.
Little lovesick. Eh? Lovesick. Everyone's been there a little lovesick. Not fun. But hey, especially Jonathan Taves, he really took the lovesick seriously, didn't he?
Yeah. Speaking of him, I actually was texting with him. He's in Costa Rica currently.
Really?
Yeah,
he's doing the ayahuasca shit or just
down
hanging
in
out?
Santa Teresa, which is a beautiful place. I actually was like, buddy, this is exactly where you should be. The amount of women down there, and he's single. I'm just like, I would be right there if I made 120 bananas.
Or if you were married with 2 kids.
Yeah.
Or if
I just think every person deserves the freedom of just like living in a fucking cool beach town with nice weather and beaches and food and just like not giving a fuck, right? And it's not about having to get up for, driving your kids to school like you just said, or, sending an email here. You're just race. There just fucking.
The rat race is what you're talking about.
You're just throwing your cock around and having a fucking time. I mean, Wouldn't that's what we all deserved at some point, right?
I wish I would have fucking scored a few more goals, had a few more shekels in the bank, and I would be doing that. But if we would have played any other sport, we would be doing that. Fucking baseball, football, anything.
Yeah. So anyway, I think everyone deserves that. Travel around Thailand, get massages, and live on the beach.
Fuck, I wanted to go to Thailand. I got no desire to go to Asia at all anymore. I would go to Japan maybe, but back when we were younger boys, you too, I was always like, Richie, we should go to Thailand. That's when I wanted to go.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it now.
No.
I'd be more Japan, go for the food.
Yeah, but when we were young and fucking playing the league, we should have been over there after every season.
Jack Tuck Thai.
Yeah, I should have been doing Muay Thai over there. Just come back at the end of the summer and pump guys' eyes shut. It would have worked out better for me.
You know who used to do that? That D-man in Chicago used to go over there. The Swede.
Oduya?
No, yeah. Say that again.
Johnny Oduya.
Johnny Oduya. Fuck, I think he still might be living there, to be all honest. He just backpacked and shit. I was told, like, after his career or maybe towards the end of it, he was just grabbing his backpack, heading over to fucking Thailand and those Peru, like the one place at Cons, hiked up the mountaintop there down south.
Mount Kilimanjaro?
He's doing that shit. Like, just going by himself for 3 months.
There's a lot of shit I would do. Hiking a mountain's not one of them. I'll tell you that. That's not high on my. Hey, let's make sure we hike
Johnny
this motherfucker.
Oduya. Yeah, Johnny Oduya. I always admired. I always admired. Yeah, he's a good player. Solid player.
I'm sure he admired you for some few things.
Yeah,
too, dog. I'm sure he admired you for some few things.
I just think it's fuck.
Yeah, I mean, listen. I lived at the beach. Not at the beach, but a couple blocks from the beach. Every summer for fucking 15 years single. It was great, but I just had to get those workouts in. Hey, Rich, I just had to get those workouts in. Well, the only worry was if my phone was going to ring with a contract. But after I got that phone call, I just started getting baked again. Be like, we're all right here. Don't have to change a thing. But Updog, welcome back. I do want to get down to Costa Rica and check that out someday too. So good to have you back in the studio. Happy birthday, Brad Richardson.
Babe.
I'll tell you what, I know I'm old, but when I heard, I had my calendar popped up, beep, Richardson's birthday, and I said, fucking Jess texted me, it's his 40th. I said, he's 40? I'll be 42 in August, so I welcome to the club, buddy. How does it feel? Do you feel 40? I mean, you don't look 40. You look like you can still snap a few draws back and, play the game.
I feel good. I feel good, buddy. I don't, I'm not a huge birthday guy. I don't like to do much for it. I just kind of like to chill, but yeah, 40's a big one, so probably have a few pops tonight. Maybe some nice rouge.
Yeah, I thought 40 was a big one. I used 40 for I got Billy Quinn to take me, Loops, and Uppy. We were all kind of turning. I'm August, Loops is September, Uppy October. So we all went kind of as our own 40th. But like 40 is the last big one till 50, and then after 50, who gives a fuck after that, right? Like, I figure you got two big birthdays, 40, 50, and then after that, you're just trying to make it to the pension. You're just trying to get that NHL pension.
Trying to get to 60, baby.
I thought it was 62. I thought it was 65. No,
you can take it whenever, but 62, I think, is the number.
I might have to take it next week here. The way things are going. Hey, fucking, hey, we got her, boys. What's the penalty here to take her out? But yeah, man, I'm excited to celebrate with you on Friday. Wasted Management. I'm coming in one day.
My birthday always falls on the Wasted Management week, so I always just do a couple nights of that, and now you're coming in for that Nickelback concert. Fuck, I can't wait for that. Yeah. And then, so yeah, it's going to be a great week. So I'm not doing a whole lot tonight. Demers and his old lady are coming over to play a little card game. That's about it.
Yeah, they're a fun couple. Remember we were playing Heads Up in Scottsdale?
I don't know if I was there.
With us. No, that's when during COVID, they shut down Big Canyon. I was like, we got to get the fuck out of here.
I remember you guys went to the house. Almost killed Callie.
Yeah. And fucking Harper died. It was a tough fucking week all over. And I was running my mouth in the fucking hot tub, and fucking Loops' ex heard me, and she said, I can fucking hear you. I was like, Jesus Christ. Fuck is going on around here? But she's like an actor, right? Demers' wife. She was killing it with Heads Up.
Broadway singer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she just got off a Broadway show, and then she's done a couple of shows on Netflix, and then a lot of Broadway since she was a kid. So yeah, hell of a singer.
Yeah, she was cool.
Who's going to be who'll be the drunkest person at that little 4-way card game?
Richardson.
Yeah. I don't know. Demers seems like you can keep her up with her.
You know what? You know how it is though. So the kids got to go to school tomorrow, so you got to be up at 6:30.
So what? Do you give yourself a curfew? What time do you?
I'd say tonight, try to get the kids in bed early, and then I'd probably midnight latest, and I'm golfing with the old man in the morning at 9. So.
See, I'm not going to make it to midnight myself, or I'd text you at midnight and be like, are you still up? And I guarantee I'd get a text back from you, but I'll be asleep I go to bed at 10, so I'm going to miss you by a couple hours.
All right, buddy. Well, yeah, we'll see what happens. Jess got me a massage at 5:00, so we got to get out of here, boys.
Yeah.
Hey, I get home.
Yeah, let's get her going here. So happy birthday, buddy. Welcome to the club. I just want to touch real quick on the intro, boys. AT&T, Pebble Beach all weekend. I took it in. First of all, Pebble is just unbelievable. I can't wait to get up there next month. But Rory, if you're a Rory McIlroy fan, I heard her did an interview on Friday about all offseason. All I did was work on my wedge control. And it's funny, when I played golf with Brendan Steele and John Mallinger, they were talking about how Rory, he'd rather have a fucking he'd rather have a 5-iron, Rory, than he would a wedge in his hand. Like, his swing is just tailor-made for his driver and his long irons, and you don't want to fuck with that, because if you ever lost your driver as a weapon, right, this is what they were talking about Rory. So anyways, he had his wedges dialed, like less spin. You know, he'd hit those wedges and it would spin way off. He played unbelievable. He won me some money on Sunday. I got him at plus 250 going into the final round, so thank fuck he won that. But I'm telling you, Scotty Scheffler was there. And if Rory can fucking compete, boys, for the PGA Tour, I'm more of a live guy, but for the PGA Tour, if you get a 1-2 combo going here, Rory and Scheffler, could make golf a lot more exciting.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I caught just some of his drives. They threw his drive like the ratio of just per hole. Like, he was averaging like 345 his hole. And you guys were talking about an 18, Richie, driver 7-iron in with 3-4 days. That's insane. So.
Wild.
It's it is, and like you say, Obes, Rory McIlroy at the top of his game should be able to compete every weekend with Scotty Scheffler, right? Yeah. So there's no reason why. If it's his wedges now and he's got his wedges dialed in, I mean, arguably you could say it was his putting before too, right? Like, he should have won the U.S. Open, couldn't make a fucking 1.5 footer. It's so nice to see him dial
I think he wins a major this year. That's my take.
I want to see him win Augusta. Yeah. I'm going to bet him to win. I'm going to bet him to win Augusta.
I'm gonna bet him too for the same bet. Yeah.
But you guys are long. I know you guys haven't played Pebble in a while, but let's say you hit a good one at Pebble. You're both fairly long. Uppy's maybe a little bit longer. I'm not that long off the tee or in the bedroom, really. But, like, if you hit one good at 18, what do you got? You still got 3-wood or something, don't you? Or fucking rescue?
I would say if you pound one there, you got like a rescue club or a 3-iron, heavy 3-iron.
Yeah.
And you got to cut the corner if you have even a chance at that. You got to hit it perfect. You know what I mean? You got to kind of hit over the water with that cut, or you got to hit a massive for Uppy. He got to hit a cut. I got to hit like a draw off the tree.
Yeah, so that big tree that's out in the middle there, which I always usually got to hit a little punch shot around on my second shot or try to take it over with something. His drive on Saturday, boys, it was fucking 70 yards past that tree. Like, they're like talking about, I think it's right at the tree, and somebody's like, Colton knows, is like, no, it's left of that. And it still hasn't landed. And then it looked back and it was like 70 yards. I'm like, jeez.
And it's just a high knuckle.
Yeah.
It's not like a draw. It's nothing. It's just a high fucking one that just won't come down. It's a moon ball.
Yeah.
It's a goddamn moon ball.
Yeah. And Scheffler's back. I might tickle Scheffler this week at the Wasted Management. I haven't got my
tickle him.
Yeah, I might tickle him. He was just a little rusty, or else he would have been right there. I mean,
I think he wins this week.
Plus 280.
Yeah.
I took him to win it.
Yeah, I like
How
that.
come Rory's not sizing himself up in this one?
I thought he's playing. No?
No, he's not. No, it doesn't say he's in here on DraftKings. He's got JT, Matsuyama, Im, Burns, Kim, Straka, Thigala. Like, as far as the top guys to win this week, you'd think Rory'd be up there at plus 800.
I thought this was is this not a signature event, this one, where there's a cut. Yeah, no, there's not. Yeah. So he's taking the week off. Plus, Rory, I don't think he's ever liked the Wasted Management.
I don't think he plays here a lot, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm thinking back, like, I'm usually a little banged up, but I don't think he's came through here too many times.
You're like, what group is this, boys? Eh?
What was this here?
Yeah. I got to I'm going to be on that 16 green. Remember the one day we sat there, me and you, for fucking, must have been 6-7 hours betting on shots. It was unbelievable. Mallinger came by. He was fucking licked. I was like, this is awesome. What a tournament. Hey, what a tournament.
Great. Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to see if they're going to buckle down on the drunkenness. I hope not.
No, they're letting
it go.
They can't. How do you do that? There's many people.
Yeah. Right?
73 and sunny, they don't care because all the grass is walkable on. Last year was a shit show, boys.
Yeah.
I mean, you had to.
Perfect. Yeah.
Anyways, Pebble Beach is an absolute treat. So congrats to Roy. That was fun to watch. I've been tripping the PGA Tour, but that was a fun weekend of golf. Moving on our intro here, boys. The Florida Panthers, defending Stanley Cup champ, were at the White House yesterday. I just wanted to give some love to Matty Tkachuk. I thought his speech was unbelievable. American-born player, telling the bumper trumper how proud he is, but Richie, you went to the White House when you won. Did you go, Rich?
Yeah, we did go. Yeah.
How is that experience? It looks like it would be amazing.
It's really, really cool, but man, it's a long day. You bust in, you got to go through all the security, the levels and all that stuff. And then you sit we probably sat for 4 hours before we saw the president, right? So you're kind of like, they shuffle you in these like blue and red rooms in the White House. You're kind of just sitting around, chirping and, whatever, just making fun of each other. And,
looking for Hunter Biden somewhere. Yeah. Looking for Hunter Biden somewhere.
He had Obama, but man, the guy gave me the limpest little freaking handshake. I was like, oh my God.
No.
One of those.
Yeah, it was a little dead fish.
That's
so I wasn't pumped with a handshake, but it was cool to see that, obviously be inside the White House. We didn't get to go in the Oval Office, which I saw they did.
Yeah.
Which was cool. We got to go on the front lawn of the White House and kind of muck around there a bit and do that. But it was a cool experience. But a long, long day, man. You were exhausted by the time you got out of there. It was like an 8-hour day.
Yeah, I think it's just a great tradition of when a bog you get to go there.
We turned it down last year, didn't we?
We did turn it down.
Which is actually epic.
We did turn it down. Yeah.
I was a little like, we have a chance to go maybe cover it on behalf of the, it was the Vegas Golden Knights, right? And
it was super last minute invite, and I didn't even.
If it was this year,
I didn't even run it by you. I just was like, no, he's not gonna. And then you're like, fuck, we should have went. I was like, I had no desire to go.
This year, we would stop at a button. I would have
went. With Trumpy, I'd go in a second.
Yeah. I would have been there. I didn't know they were going. Had I known, I might have been there. I might have tried to.
So by the way, a couple of things I took out of that is all the guys looked extremely buttoned up, right?
Red ties,
white shirts, red ties. Vinny Viola is a legend. He stood up, he gave a great speech, and I think there's a pretty big respect factor on that. Two New Yorkers, Trumper and Vinny.
Yeah.
I even think Vinny was offered the job to be his military guy in his first administration. So there's a past relationship there, Richie, which is probably why they all went through the Oval Office to take that photo. Like there was.
That's super cool.
Yeah. So and then he asked who the best golfer was. I didn't quite get the answer. Trump was like, "Yeah, wait a minute, who's the best golfer on this team?" Right?
Yeah. He said the same thing to about Jaden Schwartzy. Yeah. He said, "I heard you called him Jordan Schwartz," and then he's, "Oh, sorry, Jaden." I'm like, "I heard you're a good golfer." And Schwartzy's like, "Yeah, our handicap's this. Let us know if you ever want to play."
Yeah, me and Bozy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's great. So,
no, I was great. Good on Chucky. Chucky's, he said it perfect, and he's a good American guy, and he's getting ready to represent his country at the Four Nations. I just thought once again put another. In the positive checkbook for Matty Tkachuk. I mean, the kid's just a pro. So good on him. Congratulations. It's going to be tough cheering against Chucky at the Bell Center, but I will be. And I got my little one thing that I'm going to wear to the game that I hope's the difference. It came in, although Smitty fucked it up a little bit, but it's still wearable. Smitty, hang in there, fella, hang in there. But last but not least here, boys, tying into the White House. Listen, it happened in Ottawa and Vancouver, back in our hometown. We're all good Canadian lads here. And then it happened last night in Nashville. They booed the Canadian national anthem. I just don't like it. It has nothing to do with politics. It's just about people that represented this country and military and fought for the freedom that we all get to use every single day, and we abuse that. We don't even realize what they really went through. So if you're a fan of Missin Curfew or a fan of hockey, please don't be booing at games. I don't care how drunk you are. When the anthem comes on, stand up. Be quiet and just represent it up, dog. To me, it's not about politics. It's about the people that lost their lives for both countries. And we're both blessed to be in both fucking countries here. So, fellas, tighten it up. Don't be booing the anthem. That's just my opinion, up, dog and Rich.
Boo your wives, not the anthem, eh?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boo the beer line, like fucking beer line.
Boo the pisser line. Boo the, but perfectly said. It's not a good look on anybody. I mean,
no.
Show your disappointment in other ways around, but like you just said, I never liked the anthem, more so just it was a long time to stand up on your legs before a game. But this is not about that. It's about, standing up for prideful military vets that have fought for your life. That's exactly it.
Yeah, and Rich, I guess there's something to say too that like, you don't really need the anthem. Although I used to love an anthem on a hockey night in Canada at the fucking GM place. Oh, Canada, it got me fucking going. But like, maybe it comes a time we don't need anthems anymore if people are going to start bringing the political views into, you know what I mean? But I did enjoy I hate the double anthem, but I did enjoy one nice anthem to get you going. Yeah.
Yeah, but the double anthems were always too long.
Fuck. Oh, that was a tough spill. The big boy, right after he lost all that weight, he was going too quick. The big boy got on Ozempic. He was flying. He hit the red carpet and down he went.
Down he went.
Listen, you never played in Canada. The two anthems they wear on you.
I know.
Everywhere you go, you're like, here we go again. And then you play a Canadian team. You're like, finally, one. Here we go. Let's get it over with. The two anthems do weigh on you, Rich, over the course of a season. You're like, fuck, here we go. You got to listen to both these. But anyway, stand up, take your hat off. People sacrifice their life.
Boys.
Have some respect, boys. Before we go to break, let's not forget this show's presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Missin Curfew, boys, around the National League, best league in the world. I feel sorry for these guys up on TSN and Sportsnet that are going to sit there for the whole NHL trade deadline and wait for trades because, fuck, there's been so many trades. And I guess I was talking to a couple people throughout the league, and I guess a lot of these GMs want these deals done before the Four Nations, right? So when they come back, I mean, if you guys get a chance to look at some of these schedules of these games these guys play after this break, the amount of games they play in such a short month to me is crazy. But around the league, I'm going to start off first here. We're going to finally put this to bed here. The JT Miller has been traded from the Vancouver Canucks. Listen, from what I heard, he finally had just had enough. So to Jim Rutherford and Patrick Alvin, to do the right thing for JT Miller, I guess you got to commend them, right? I mean, he did have a full no move. He wanted to go to New York. I guess he was just battling mentally with some stuff. But when you go on a pure hockey trade, this is a horrendous trade. The Vancouver Canucks are not going to come back from this. I feel bad for Rick Tocchet. I feel bad for every beauty up there, every Canucks fan that was so fired up last year, Uppy, when we were there. They were one win away from taking out the Edmonton Oilers. They had so much great things going. Now, because of a feud between two guys or whatever the fuck happened, this hockey team has taken a step back. JT Millers don't grow on trees. Pettersson, your time is now, bud. Let's see what you can fucking do. You got your way. It's now your hockey team. The Vancouver Canucks are the softest team in the National Hockey League now. After getting rid of JT Miller, I feel bad for Talks. Canucks fans, I feel bad for you beauties. I love you guys all. Updog, I'll go to you first. It's a terrible trade as a Canucks alumni. You do not replace a JT Miller.
No. And, I think for both sides, this is what, I think Scheidel wanted to get out of New York for some time now. The fit was never there. He hasn't quite found his game like he was in his first couple years. But, David Poyle always said to me, whoever gets the best player in this trade wins the trade, right? Yeah. So JT Miller is in the prime of his career. I think this works out well for him, whether or not deep down he wanted to get the hell out of there from the start, or if he was really trying to put his best foot forward to stay. Only he would probably know, or the guys in the dressing room for that matter. But this is obviously one of those circumstances, boys. It's unfortunate when you like a team. Obi, you both have played there. You both have prideful. You cherish your time there. You enjoy the fans, and this is one of those ones where their team didn't get better, and it could have been maybe salvaged by moving the other guy. But that just isn't the case. Pettersson, like you just said, he's going to have to step up. He hasn't quite played to standards of the new contract, or just basically being a leader in the room. He's proven now that it's caused some commotion rather than answers. Yeah. And this is going to fall on him. I think you maybe mentioned it under your breath to me last week, Obes, that this could be single-handedly, take down the Vancouver Canucks for years and years, and he might not be able to come back from it. Well, we'll see. We'll see. But this is, I think Pettersson's no move starts this summer, so things might not even be done. He has an important couple months to come up here and prove that he can get this team to at least play some half-decent hockey coming down the stretch, or he might be out of here too.
Yeah, fellas, I'm with you guys. You don't replace JT Miller, especially with that kind of juice he brings. I mean, something had to give, but I don't love the return. Cheeto, he's an okay player, but he's missed a whole year of hockey with head injuries. What happens if this guy gets hurt? Yeah. One more hit and this guy could be done.
No, he's been banged up all year. He's been banged up all year.
He's a good player when he's healthy, but he's not JT Miller. And I'm not sure this young kid they got, I don't know the kid. He might turn out to be a hell of a
I don't know who Victor Mancini is either, and I watch a lot of fucking
I don't know who that is, so maybe I don't want to speak on him, but they fucking traded this guy since he's came GM. He's traded Bo Horvat. I know whatever. We can say you want about Bo. He's still a legit centerman in this league.
Yeah.
They've traded fucking Miller now.
I know.
You can't find good centermen. And, Pettersson's, if he doesn't step up, I don't know what will happen with him, but it's his, like you said, it's his time. They're the softest team. Look at their lineup, but there's not one guy you're scared of on this team.
No.
You say maybe Joshua plays hard. You got a big forward out there, but oh my God, would you love to play against this team?
They're a dream. Like to play against their forward group right now. And you're bang on. Joshua and Forbert. I forgot about Joshua. I love that kid's game.
Yeah, he's got but he's not a guy that's going to go out and fight every night. There's not a lot of team toughness here at all.
No.
This is a soft lineup.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you guys, I love Quinn Hughes. I love him. I mean, fuck, I would love to be his D partner. You know, him and Makar are the two best players. He's single-handedly, you know, Loop said this the other day, you know, put the Canucks on his back this year, and he has done that. Now, when it comes to him being the captain of the hockey club, is there any, I don't want to use the word blame, but is there any of his inexperience of being a leader, Rich, that if you had a veteran captain in there, like, I don't even know around the league who I could think of, a Jonathan Tavares, or I know he's not the captain anymore, but you know where I'm going. Like, is there any way, like, hey, why couldn't Quinn Hughes, and I don't know the kid, but why could he pull these two guys aside and be like, are you fucking guys nuts? We were one win away from beating the Oilers last year, and now you fucking squash it. Let's go win some games.
Yeah, what was what I say? I mean, I know, you know, I got to play with Quinn for a short time, you know, half the season, not even, whatever it is. He's a great kid. You know, he's still learning how to be a captain.
Yeah.
I'm sure they did have talks. I mean, who knows? They probably did. I'm sure they had multiple talks with the management, with the coaches. But, you know, what I think they messed up on, I told this guy at my exit meeting, and I'd only been there a short time, but I knew my career was over, and I was just going to tell this guy honestly. And I love JT Miller, great guy. I'd take him on my team. But I told him, you got to surround a guy like JT Miller with veteran players, or you're going to be fucked.
Yeah.
That's how you calm JT Miller down. You got to have a veteran group that knows how to settle him down at the right times when he gets a little off the rails, because he does. But you want him, if you get him dialed in, he's an unbelievable player, and he's a great guy, but he needs veteran guys around him or it gets squirrely. And they didn't have enough, you know.
Yeah,
keep it,
that's well said.
It can't be just on Quinn. He's a young captain.
No, and listen, I'm not putting on. I love Quinn Hughes. You know, Updog, I think you might have talked about it when this first did happen, right? We were talking like, well, they don't make Jason Smiths anymore, right? They don't make fucking Chris Prongers or Vinny LeCavier or guys like Shea Webb. Like, they don't make those guys anymore. Like, you know, so maybe it's not fair to put it on Quinn, but as a young captain, you know, if Rick Tocchet gives you the C, I think you deserve it. I respect Talks more than anyone. But just looking at it from an ex-player, an alumni, like maybe if there was more veteran guys in there. You know, like Brock Besser's not a talkative guy. I don't know Jake DeBrusque, but he doesn't seem to say a whole lot. You know, you look on their back end, Tyler Myers, I don't know if he's a vocal guy or would say something. So I think Richie's right, Updog. Like, there just wasn't veteran guys.
I play with some of these guys. Like the best leader up front on their team is Connor Garland. I play with him on two different teams. He's a great leader. He's a small guy. He plays right every night. He's their best leader up front that I know. And he, you know, that's what I'm telling you. Like, there's not a lot of, you know, there's no Patrick Maroons or Corey Perry's or guys that have been around a long time to really settle the room down.
See, those are two great
guys.
like,
Forbert's helped. He's helped a little bit, but it was too late at this point when he came in this year.
If you have Patty Maroon on that fourth line instead of Linus Carlson, whoever the fuck that guy. But you know what I'm saying? Like, if you have Patty Maroon in that dressing room, maybe it's different.
There's no Upshaw. There's no someone like myself or Luke Shen left and all these guys that could actually fucking say, settle the fuck down. This is a joke, guys. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
We don't care if you get along, but let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
So, that I saw, and that's what I told the fucking GM, but he didn't listen. So
it just makes me go to believe that this was ultimately JT Miller's like wish a bit.
He had finally had enough, I guess.
I think he just had enough. He kind of probably this summer was like, you know what, this team, like, Edmonton's going up, yeah, right? McDavid and Draisitl are on a fucking mission. We're going to have to try to go through them every year. Colorado's much better than us. Like, am I winning here? And then, like, maybe it was just like, now's the time to get out. Like, instead of just stringing along another couple years. And unfortunately, like, if it's a Vancouver kid in there, he probably has, I'm not going to question, like, JT Miller's pride, but, like, maybe a Canadian kid that hadn't played New York before is probably like, fuck it, I'm going to make this work no matter what. This is my team. JT Miller probably took the road of like, I got a chance. You know, New York's up and down. They're fucking figuring their shit out. This is probably now the time, right? Yeah.
You know, I heard his wife was unbelievable in the community, Richie. I heard like
I'm sure.
She was doing.
This is from afar thinking.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, like, I've talked to some friends in Vancouver and like, you know, I'm like, how was, you know, his wife loved it. She was great in the community, good with the, you know, I just think the beatdown of having to listen to the, you know, the media ask him and you know, he just said, fuck it. I finally had, and he has been dealing with some mental stuff. I guess that's why he stepped away. He's just like, I can see it from that perspective. Like, get me out of here. I've had enough. I want to go back to New York where I was drafted, where I started. Him and Troche are lifelong buddies from they played junior, midget hockey together, minor hockey together. So listen,
and that team.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a team that gets in, they could win the cup.
Fucking look, I got money on him too. So when he went to the Rangers, I was like, that's all right. But it's just sad as an ex-Canuck, and you were there last year, right? And they have so many Missin Curfew fans listen to our Canucks fans, and to go from where they were last year at this point to where they are now, and I hope I'm wrong, but I think this is the beginning of the end of this run. I think you may see Brock Besser moved at the deadline, and then I think you may see Quinn Hughes this summer say, hey, I'm out of here. I've had enough of it. I want to go play in the States somewhere. And booyah, you're back to the drawing board.
Well, I would say this is that JT Miller's got to feel bad for leaving Quinn Hughes in the dust, I'd say. Like it's his American fucking buddy. I bet you when he signed his extension, Quinn Hughes was like, buddy, we need you here. You're the piece. I'm so glad I got American buddy here. Like, what a year you've had. You're fucking, Talks and you're my co-captain, and like he probably feels like fuck.
Yeah, it's
that's hockey though.
No,
That's
I saw Quinn Hughes'
business.
interview after the game in Dallas, and he was like, you know what, I'm going to see JT in a couple weeks at the Four Nations. It hasn't really sunk in yet, but yeah, I'm going to miss this guy. And Thatcher Demko had
Pretty defeated though, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He looked like fuck me, man. How am I going to? Quinn Hughes
totally sees the writing. They're going to trade Besser for sure.
Yeah.
They could trade Garland.
Pedersen's going to be there playing by himself. With all the other Swedish buddies he wants
If
to
they
bring
have three
in.
Pedersens on one fucking lineup.
Bring in a couple more Swedes. Bring in a couple more up there.
With the same exact name.
Yeah. And listen, I hope I'm wrong. And it makes me so mad. I hate to bring it up again, but like to be up there last year and to see that city buzzing, Rich, and to go up there and be part of it as an ex-player and remember how it was when I played there and they were heading in the right direction and everything was going well. And here we are talking about JT Miller getting traded. So I hope I'm wrong. To the Canucks fans up there, keep your head up. Moving on around the National League, Richie, we'll start with you, seeing how you used to sit in some of these meetings with Conroy. First of all, I got to give Craig Conroy, we should be giving him a Labatt Blue in that segment, but he's done a hell of a job since he's got in there. I love this trade, Rich. Farabee and Morgan Frost. What were your initial reactions, or what do you think moving forward here?
Yeah, I think it was a great trade. It was exactly what Connie's been looking for a couple of years. They're trying to find a younger, under 25 kind of centerman. And they're not easy to find. Like I just talked about the centerman leaving Vancouver. They're not easy to find really good centermen. So I think he did a good job. He was patient. He didn't, react this summer and grab if there's some free agent centers out there that he had to sign long-term big money deals. Didn't do it. He's patient. And I think, for them, they looked at it like Pelche. He's always a good little player, but he still hasn't really found his role in the NHL yet. So I think, getting rid of a guy like that they don't really know if he's going to be a full-time guy. Kuzmenko is kind of a bum, he can score, but doesn't play that hard. But so they got rid of two guys they didn't probably see in their long-term plans to get, guys that needed fresh starts.
I'm interested to see Kuzmenko play for John Tortorella. This could be a short fucking leash for this kid because obviously they bring him in another Russian with Michkov. Listen, we touched on this last week, but I love the way the Flames play right now. I've been betting them. They're underdogs a lot. They went into Seattle the other night. I'm going to get to that in my DraftKings bets, baby. But the structure they play with, and now you guys were National Leaguers. You're in Calgary's dressing room. You're in the fight. I remember we did it in Colorado. We brought in Steve Doughty and Jamie McGinn at the deadline. Two legit fucking NHL guys, and we're like, let's go, boys. We didn't get in. But for Connie to come in and bring in two legit National Leaguers to add to that dressing room, to me, Updog, I think that's great by him. Let's get going, boys. Let's get in the dance here. Let's surprise everyone.
God, it's a good feeling that time of year when your GM just feeds you guys instead of taking some of your best players away, right?
Exactly.
And those are hard conversations for a GM to come in and look at his team and say, guys, you made me do this. And on the retrospect of this is these guys are two legit players. I think Danny Briere the writing's on the wall that he's going to be loading up to make a big splash, having cap room and having some options.
Yeah, they have a plan.
They got a plan. But these two I love the way Farabee's been. He's two-way. He's tough. He plays hard. Morgan Frost is an incredible young guy. Came in, big goal in his first game. It's good, like you just said, with a good goalie. And some fucking options now up front. It's a team that gets in and heads up.
Yeah, I'm on board.
Yeah,
I'm over.
Well, and two, what they did is they didn't get super. They fit the age group of that team, right? They're not like these 30-year-olds. They fit that, trying to ramp it up. If they make it, the playoffs. But if they don't, they're still on that same trajectory going upwards. So it's a smart move.
Smart, Richie.
Yeah.
He's their fucking GM cap.
That guy was in the war room.
He's got his GM cap.
The fucking war room. I was texting when he's in the war room. I said, what do you got going on there? He said, we got a lot of shit going on, Obes. Hey, we'll see what sticks around.
Is that a Flames bucket? Is that a Flames lid you got on there? Your GM on the side? Yeah.
That's got my own picture on it, eh? Kill man raised average fellas.
That was one of your best costumes ever. That was one of your, oh yeah, brother. Oh yeah. And listen, I'm on board with the Flames. You know, I love. I even like watching the old shitty Saladome on TV. I don't want to be there because the pisser line's through the fucking. But the rink's old. They play hard. I'm over the scar tissue of Bob Hartley, and I want him to get in. Uyghur's. You know, I'm going to get to Drew Doughty, but Weegsy. Tell you what, watch him play there night against Seattle. He's best defenseman on the ice. And Montour played, and Vince Dunn. They played great.
I know. So there's some options there. Canada's D. Yeah.
You watch. I was like, Uyghur is the best defenseman. Monty was great. Dunn looked good. Uyghur was best defenseman, but. I don't know if they're going to get in, but they're a fun team to watch, and your boy Wolf is absolutely kicking. So last but not least here, boys, on Around the National League, Stars and Sharks make a move. Yeah, I love when they do that. The Stars and Sharks make a move. Granlund and Ceci to Dallas. I think it's a great move, and it's just if you're a veteran guy and you got to go to a shitty team, take advantage of it, right? They both went in there. Granlund's played unbelievable. He even thanked the Sharks. Like this, he goes, this was the perfect situation for me at this time in my career. Went in there, got lots of minutes. CC the same thing after coming out of Edmonton. Watch out for the Dallas Stars, boys. Watch out.
Just announced today, Obes, that Heskinen's out month to month, though, with knee surgery. So, unfortunately,
Did you see that play?
Yes.
So, Stone, I don't know what you guys thought about it. Stone was kind of reaching in, and Ray Ferraro.
He could have got out of the way of that, I think, still. He didn't.
Chicken Park let him have it. He let him have it on the Ray Ferraro on the ESPN telecast was like, "What the fuck is Stone doing?" I didn't.
He got tripped, but he didn't need to. He could have still bailed on the play and not took his knees out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably right.
It's a tough loss.
It's a tough loss for Team Finland.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
They can't replace.
Yeah, and no, but I'm just saying. I was thinking about tickling Team Finland in the Four Nations.
You'll get them more odds now.
Yeah, they can't win without Heiskanen. They can't win.
That's true.
They cannot win.
No.
Boys, it is milk carton time here at Missin Curfew. Ryan Hartman. He got suspended 10 games for doing the Diamond Dallas Page. Diamond Dallas Page. The old fucking DDT. I mean, was it that bad? Like 10 games.
10 games.
Stützle didn't miss a game. He played the other night. He had an apple against that.
So you guys tell me. I didn't watch it. Was there retaliation at all on this play? Because that could happen at any. Richie, you're a face-off guy. You used to like to get your nose right in there, dirty. Like, would you know if someone just tried to turnbuckle you like that right off the hop?
I would know because, he did that. It was a dirty play.
Yeah.
It's not a normal face-off play. It was a dirty play. 10 games is extreme, but he's a repeat offender, so.
Yeah, but not like a repeat offender where he's like, he gets suspended 2 games and then,
This is his 5th suspension.
5th? Oh, wow. Fuck. I thought it was only 3rd.
Well, it's
maybe
but I mean,
3
I thought maybe 5, but 10's a lot. That's fucking
10. It's fucking 10.
$500K, $500,000, $485,000.
$485,000 guy for 10. So Richie, I respect Richie's comment because he was a center for a long time.
100%.
It was cunty. It's like, Rafi Torres back in the day, some of his hits, he'd take a run out. You're like, that's cunty, Chico. That's cunty.
He'd do it to his best buddies, too.
Yeah, that's cunty. So you're telling me it was cunty.
Yeah.
10 games.
It's too much.
He didn't hurt the guy.
Yeah,
I'm shocked. It's the head, right? If he drove his head in the ice, if the guy got knocked out, you got to look into the what ifs too, right? Because he got cut.
I had Alex Burrows one night in Denver. I had his face. I was pushing it, right? Like I had his jaw. I could feel it on the ice. I was just fucking driving him in there. And the line he's trying to get me, and Burrows.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Force behind it, though. He had like 4 feet of,
Yeah.
He came down on it hard.
It could have been real, but if he gets up and his nose is on sideways and he's fucking got his eyes in the back of his head, like I could see 10, 12 games. Like look back at the guys that have gotten 10 games. The stuff they do is like where the guy's out cold, or you use your stick. Like you still just kind of grasp.
It was extreme.
It's a lot of games.
It's a lot of dough.
And listen, I love Georgie. I obviously love Ryan.
Why
Getz,
you just
the Wizard, Ray Whitney, all the boys. They got a hard job to do, but let's try to take in. This is money for these guys too.
Just spear them in the nuts or something.
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
like if you're taking the draw and you want to be, you're like this little fucking German here. Let's just fucking give him a spear.
yeah.
But like,
little spear in the nuts
I guess Richie, like, in order to give him 10 games, you got to go into that thinking he planned on doing that from the fucking 2 seconds before the puck was even dropped. And I didn't quite see that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
It's not a natural face-off play to take someone's head and fucking DDT him in the ice, but like his last one, Hartman's a dirty player.
Have on my team any day.
I would too, 100%. But he's on the edge, which I like. What?
How many games would you give him if you were making the decisions there? How many games would you give him?
4.
Under 5.
Yeah.
4 games.
4 games.
Still a couple hundred grand.
What's the call with George? You say, hey, we're suspending you for 10. You can't be DDTing guys out there, fella. Unfortunately, if you go join the WWE if you want to do that, fella.
Yeah, Jackie Redmond's actually on Raw tonight if you want to go take a guy from the top
Jackie,
rope.
she'll get you on the show there. You can go off the top rope and everything, fella.
You can get Pat McAfee on the fucking Royal Rumble if you want him.
Fucking 10 games. I think it was you that texted in the
$489,000.
Holy moly.
That's a lot of fucking money.
It's a lot of money. So, anyways, you want to see anyone get hurt? I just thought 10 games was a lot. Getsy, love you, buddy. Take it easy on the fellas. It's the Missin Curfew. Dog of the week. I got a few dogs, boys. I got Arbor Jack Guy versus Ross Johnston. Ross Johnston, you're my Missin Curfew dog of the week. Doesn't get a whole lot of, love or respect out here playing for the Ducks. He plays every single night. The coach of the Ducks absolutely loves him. He's a big, strong kid that doesn't fight a lot. And, the strength that he showed against Arbor Jack Guy was legit. So, Ross Johnson, you are my Missin Curfew dog of the week. And my second one is to the Beauty Oilers Leafs fans that were as drunk as they possibly could be, drinking $20 beers at Rexall Place. The buzz in that Saturday night game was unbelievable. Let's go Oilers to go Leafs go. They were drunk. They were cheering. Good on you, boys. That's hockey. And that's my Missin Curfew dog of the week up, dog.
Love it, buddy. I watched the Oilers game with no volume, and we briefly talked about it before, but I took them plus 450 when they were down 3-0, and I had the over 6.5 goals. So the game ended up turning out perfect for me. But wow, what an atmosphere! Every time McDavid Matthews play should be Saturday night, hockey night in Canada. Fucking put it on the platform, on the pedestal, and like they did, it didn't disappoint. It's a good game.
Richie, before I turn it over to you, and this is no disrespect to Nathan McKinnon, Ranton, and whoever else is right there, but 97 and 29 are at a level that is better than everyone, not just by a little bit, by a lot. I haven't seen Draisaitl lose a puck battle in a month and a half, and McDavid is somehow getting faster and faster each game. I was talking to Luce about this. Sometimes McDavid, though, should shoot the fuck. Here I am giving McDavid advice. Shoot the fucking biscuit a bit. Like, sometimes he'll be right in there and you'll try to dish it, but, like, that would be my only kind of like, hey, Connor, if you're wondering, bud, shoot the pill. But these two guys right now, Rich, in my opinion, I watched pretty much every Oilers game. They are that much better than everyone else, and that is why I think they're going to get it done this year.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm cheering for them too, and I love watching Draisaitl play hockey because I think he's the smartest guy in the league. The way he uses his body and makes these little plays, I love watching him play.
It's crazy, man.
Like, he doesn't skate. He just had a choppy skating, but he just knows how to use his body so well. I agree with you, McDavid, though. I think, one knock, if you could ever knock him, is shoot more, because the guy can shoot and score.
Fuck yeah.
But
I think
when they're going, they're dangerous as hell. So I'll be interested to watch them. I'm going to come in before the deadline to see if there's anything they can do there.
Yeah, I got one more thing before your dog of the week. For Chuck Knobloch, if you're listening to Missin Curfew, quit taking Hyman off McDavid's line. Fuck off. Leave him with McDavid at all times, because just leave him. If you want to throw Draisaitl up there, move Roger and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins in and out, you can do all that you want. But do not put Connor Brown up there with McDavid and bump Hyman. Yeah, don't fucking out. Hey, see, these coaches, they come in. The fucking guy was a rookie last year. Now he's in there. He's thinking, I got to be smarter than the fucking game. No, you don't. You leave Hyman and McDavid together forever, and you bump Draisaitl around if you want. Like, turn the game on the other night. I love pairs. It was Draisaitl fucking McDavid pairs. I'm like, Pairs is averaging 13 minutes a night. These guys play 27. What's going to happen here? And he moved them around, but I just think you got to keep Hyman with McDavid if Knobloch's listening, Rich. But let's hear your dog of the week, fella.
Oh, my dog of the week is Rob Ray. Gets his jersey in the rafters for the Buffalo Sabres. He was an unbelievable Sabre. I mean, just what he did for that organization for I don't know how many years it was.
Forever.
18 years or whatever. It was incredible. The fights he had with Ty Domi, and he fought everyone in the whole league, but they had to change the rule, put the tie down in because of him. He grew up, 6 houses from me on the lake in Sterling, Ontario. I saw him ripping around his jet ski as a kid, and it's just like, I want to be that. I want to be like this guy. He was the coolest. He's been so good to me, and he's a great person. And it was really proud of him. It's such a great honor. That's a great, historic organization. So good for him.
Yeah, he was a dog when he played, obviously. Sterling, Ontario here, Oak Lake, 900 games he played in the league. And like you said, they had to change the rules for him. And Ty Domi did an Instagram message for them that they played. It was fucking great. Ty was just like, hey, Rob, they fought 15 times.
Fuck.
15 times they fought.
That's crazy.
15. Like you think like one night.
No,
you're like,
they were crazy.
Just the touch on him, guys. Did you you saw that hit the other night? Can you imagine what he was thinking between the benches? No one did anything.
oh fuck.
He must have and I've talked to him before games. He is not shy to say whatever about that group in front of anyone and talk and I can't believe what he would have done.
Oh yeah.
It was embarrassing.
It would have been on.
Can we get his audio clip from what actually probably he was saying in between the
If
benches?
we could get a real audio, he'd be like, "This is the biggest joke of a team I've ever seen."
You actually said it best. The fucking tie down was invented because he could be in and out of that sweater before anyone even grabbed him. It was whew, he was already off, elbow pads and everything. He wore the little baby blue Cooper fucking undershirt. That thing was fucking legendary. When I was in junior, we wore those, but he just was poof, and he had a cut off on his sleeves.
Yeah. Fuck, and then he has the biggest head in the world too, so you can't hurt him.
No
Hands.
Oh, his hands. I remember when we play in Buffy, being between the bench, and I would first thing I would notice is his head. It's like a milk carton on there, and then his hands. I'm like, they look like just little sledgehammers, and his nose was fucking. I'm like, whoa, the razor. But you're right. Buffalo always had tough teams too, right? Rob Ray before then. Then you want to go Andrew Peters, Cody McCormick, Barnaby. That was anytime in my era, you go into Buffalo, you had Andrew Peters and McCormick and Chris Stewart. You're like, well, this ain't going to be a whole lot of fun. And now they're picking up.
I mean, your best player gets hit like that, and no one does. I don't care. You go over, you slash him, you cross check him, you bury him, you jump on him, you team bull, whatever, something. Fuck, that was embarrassing, man.
Yeah. For the kids that don't fight, you're looking for the one time that you actually have to fight. You know what I mean? You're not ever okay, I'm not a fighter, so I'm not going to square off with the guy, but there has to be a moment in hockey where you actually lose your mind because your teammates fucking hurt on the ground. It's crazy. Yeah. I was shocked.
There's a lot.
In those ones too, Uppy, you know how it is. Everyone goes after the guy. It's not a big fight. It's just more of a dog pile, and you're at least showing your support to the teammates.
It's poor leader. It's poor leadership on the team is what it is. It's because
Richie, you're 100% right. You don't have to go and square off with the guy and go buckets off at center ice. You just get in there and grab him.
100%.
Give him a fuck couple. Yeah, get on there. Just get on the top. No, you're absolutely right. And good for you, Rich. Rob Ray, congratulations. You are a legend. Sterling, Ontario. I got another Missin Curfew dog of the week. It's Will Cooley. What a fucking hit on Petro. That was Upshaw style.
Yeah.
That was Upshaw on the kid from fucking Latvia or wherever. In the
Hungary.
Yeah, Hungary. Fucking what a hit. And then fought that hag who's a big, tough guy.
Good fight, too.
We need more of that.
That was a good hit.
We need more.
Petro fucking... He was seeing fucking squirrely birds after that. Yeah.
He had his head down. Good, hard, clean hit.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, that was the best hit I've seen in a while.
Yeah, Petro doesn't really get hit like that very often. No. And that's going to make him think twice about opening up. And
no. And I hate how, listen, I like Nick Hague. I love him. Take him on my team. I get it. You come in, Petro's running. But Will Cooley shouldn't even have to fight. That's a good, hard, clean hit.
Yeah, but I think he wanted to fight.
Yeah,
he was fired up.
He was like, this is my time to shine at MSG.
Center ice at MSG. You got fucking your girl in the stands.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Sydney.
Oh, she was right behind his bench. So I would have fucking fought everybody if that was the case.
There was this one guy on Pittsburgh that they do overrated things, and I think it was Joseph or this other guy. He's like, what's overrated? He said Sidney Sweeney. I was like,
I saw that.
I'm like, are you nuts, bud? Come on now. There's a lot of more overrated things than Sidney Sweeney. I was like, this kid. Someone talk to this kid. Yeah. Sid, pull him aside, talk to him. Have a chat with him.
Don't be saying that shit.
Lots of dogs of the weeks. Good on you, boys. Will Cooley, what a hit. We love that at Missin Curfew. DraftKings bets, baby. Presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. I'm going to start with hockey real quick. Shout out to Graham Dillette. This guy's a beauty. I was texting with him. He was walking with Scotty Scheffler on ESPN Plus PJ Tour Live. But he has this thing on hockey bets. He calls it the full creamer. He goes first period, money line, puck line, and a regulation win. He calls those full creamers. I had a full creamer as soon as I heard that JT Miller was leaving the building in Dallas. I absolutely hammered the Dallas Stars, the full creamer. First period, money line, puck line, regulation, won them all, and then I put him in a parlay with the Avalanche that night. So Graham Dillette, thank you. That was a big win for me. And then on Sunday night, I took the Red Wings going into Vancouver and the Flames going into Seattle at plus 500. That hit for me. I need it. I've been battling Red Wings and Flames right now, boys. If you're trying to put money on it for good odds, Rich, I'm telling you, these two teams are good. But Graham Dillette, you're a beauty. The full creamer, I love it.
Hey, the full creamer, Graham.
That's awesome. I did the exact same bets you just mentioned. All three of them I hit too. I did the
baby.
exact same thing as you. I saw him leave and I said, Dallas, here we go.
Yeah, hammer Dallas.
And I did the same thing, Calgary. I did the same the other one there too. So
Last one for me on the hockey bets before we talk Super Bowl, boys. I lost my lock of the week, but I watched Carolina. Fuck, Freddie Anderson, stand up. Fuck, I'd like to see him stand up a bit. He's down. Every fucking shot he was down on his knees.
Like from the corners, or was
Just
it
everywhere. Yeah, puck's down low, he gets down on his knee. Anything, puck's out high in the blue line, he's almost down. I'm like, stand up, Freddie. You're 6 foot, whatever. So I was flipping back between Leafs, Oilers, and this game. It was at half hour, so I got pretty much both of them. And I lost the game. Carolina had a fucking horseshit effort. But I want to talk about Drew Doughty with both of you. We'll start with Rich because we touched on it last week. But, I was pumping for Weeks. I want Weegsy Baby to be on the team. And obviously Doughty came out and said what he said about, I want to play for Four Nations. I said he hasn't been playing. He's been out for 6 months. And, well, Rich, he was the best defenseman on the ice for the Kings, maybe both teams. I mean, he's just a hockey player, right? Like, I watched him play the entire game pretty much. Box outs, out battling, right play, in the right spot. Like, it seems that his game, if you're John Cooper and Doug Armstrong, he's ready to rock, Rich.
yeah, I saw the same thing. Obviously, he played great, and he's the kind of guy. He's 3 months off, doesn't matter to this guy. We talked about it. He's a gamer, and he wants to play on this team. So when he wants something, he's going to get it usually. So I hope it's him. I love Weeks too. And the other name I want to bring up, do you think they're talking about Chris Tanev at all?
Fuck, he deserves it.
I mean, if
I
you
wonder. I know
Yeah.
Drew's back in there, but Tanev's played really good too.
You know why they might be talking about him, Richie's, and I had this conversation with our boy PJ, is that, whoever's coming in for Petro is going to be playing in this lineup, right? Like, you have you need to have the guy like Petro. So Tanev, yeah, he's going to be out there PK, shutting down guys, eating good minutes. Is Doughty going to be that guy? He could. Obi, you just said you watched him boxing out. You need that style of player. I think Weeks can come in and be a good two-way guy like that. I just, you expect whoever gets added to be the guy that's like in there playing some big minutes for a guy like Petro.
Yeah.
Because you're not.
Listen.
Sanheim's not. He's the odd man out, right? Like you would think.
You would think.
Yes, he is. He should.
He's there because he's young and he's going to be a stud and
He'll
wants
probably
to
be on
around
the
these-
Olympic team.
Yeah.
Exactly, but now I think,
Yeah.
I think Doughty, if he's ready to go, LA might want him.
for sure to keep
Well, he
it
don't.
100%.
He's not skill play, and he wants to go, and LA wants to go get some game. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope it's Weegsy, but after watching him against Carolina, and obviously Doug Armstrong and John Cooper know way more than I do about guys, being ready to play. He looked ready to me for a guy who, his third game of the season. I was like, fuck, this guy's just a player.
I would also say Canada could use his leadership. Like another guy, he's probably the other guy only
Been
than
there.
Sid that's played in the Olympics.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
right? Bring him.
No, it's true. There's not many guys that have done it besides Sid and Marchand.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right about that. Boys, I'm going to save the Super Bowl chat for Fella Friday. We're gonna get to that on Fella Friday. But right now, we're going to get this guy a Labatt Blue. Presented by Labatt Blue Light, the pristine Pilsner. Enjoy your beers together so we can live life to the power of we. Always enjoy responsibly. Beer, Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York. All right, I'm going to start dishing. I got lots of beers. I'm always giving them out here. I'm going to fire them around here, boys. First and foremost, John Tortorella. Torts, I love you. You old crusty fuck you. You're getting a little soft in your old age. You're letting guys turn pucks over and you're not benching them. That would have never flown back in your day. But first U.S.-born coach to reach 600 games. Richie, I know Torts means a lot to you. This is the guy's. There's a reason he's been in there for 1,600. So John Tortorella, get yourself a Labatt Blue. My boy, the Fact Daddy Ryan O'Reilly, 800 career points in the National League.
Fact Daddy!
He had a nice assist the other night to Marchessault, a little bump to the middle. That's a lot of points. Fact Daddy, get yourself a Labatt Blue. And last one for me before I turn it over to you, Rich, Marc-Andre Fleury. Last game in Montreal, of course he goes in there, shuts him out. All the guys wait to shake his hand. Marty St. Louis, Robidaud, the whole coaching staff waits to shake his hand. Never even played for the Canadians, but just to be a Montreal boy or Quebec boy. Marc-Andre Fleury, get yourself a Labatt Blue, fella.
There we go. Nicely done. For me, this we got a couple to throw out. First one I'm going to start with go to Calgary and my little guy, Matty Coronado, had a hell of a game last week against the Ducks. He looked like he had a hat trick, but I think Coleman stole one from him half the game. But this kid's playing with a lot of pep in his step. He's a smaller player, and there's a lot of questions going in the season if this kid could be a full-time NHL kid. He's got 13 goals, 28 points. Still really young. I think he's 21 years old. He's playing with his nose over the puck, and for a smaller player, that's the way you got to play. So I love him. Get yourself a beer, Matty. The second one, I got to go with my boy Jonathan Quick.
Hey, just real quick on that Matty Coronado. I'm with you. Seems like the puck's always around him. He's always in the right spot. He's got good feet. Right, Rich? He's always seems to be right in the mix when I watch this kid play. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, no big deal. But no, he's got a high IQ too. Obes, like they trust him at the end of games when they're they were up 1. They're trusting him. His game's grown a lot, and he's just smart. He went to Harvard. He's a smart kid. And he wants it. So. And I talked to him at the end of the year last year, and we had a good chat. And this kid really wants to be a hard two-way player and not just rely on his shot. He's got a really good shot, but just to play in this league as a small guy, you really got to play a well-rounded game. And he's done a great job. So
yeah, they teach you how to underline in college, not the fuck scenes. They don't. You got one more dog, fella?
Yeah, I gotta go give a beer to my boy who I've had a lot of beers with, but Jonathan Quick, 400 career wins. It's pretty goddamn impressive. I know I think he's the leader in U.S. goalie for most wins, but getting 400 is impressive. I think he's 39 now. Really cheering for the Rangers to pull this thing around and sneak into the playoffs. I think they'd be dangerous.
Yeah, well said. Quickie still kicking. Still wish he was an LA King, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I mean, anytime he's in net for the Rangers, he's still kicking, Richie, for sure. So
best,
up, dog.
Best style too. Best style. He's on his one knee. He's always in one knee and one leg, like just kind of bent like that with his glove down. Like it's just. He's so chill out there. I always remember Binnington always used to just say, Jonathan Quick's, like, just watch how he moves around the net. It's just so silky. Him and Price were the best guys moving around.
Buddy, when they were winning their cups in LA, I mean, I told you guys this. After we beat you guys that year, Rich, in 6, we were on the bus in Luongo, and all of us at the back of the bus were like, that team's coming. And Luongo's like, that Jonathan Quick is going to be one of the best goalies in the world for exactly that. The way he tracks pucks, and he's just always like... Yeah, and his great style, his mask right now he has in New York is sick. He always just had sick gear.
And I'll just tell you this too, like what I saw, and I've played it with a lot of good goaltenders in my career, but for like any young goalie listening to this, if this kid, Jonathan, never gives up on a puck even in practice. I'll tell you what, you think you have a backdoor tap in practice, the guy comes flying across, makes a big save on you, never gives up on a puck even in practice, never wants a puck in his net. He's got that kind of killer instinct on that stuff. So, he's played a long time for a reason.
Yeah, well said.
Boys, I got 2 here. I'm going to go David Perron, first goal as an Ottawa Senator. Took him a long time, but he battled some stuff, family stuff. Heads up for Ottawa. 3rd in the Atlantic right now, won 5 straight. They had a big win in Nashville last night. Greener, well done. And then we dogged him a little bit for being on his knees, but Freddie Anderson, our boy Freddie, 500 games and 300 wins. I mean, those are some big boy numbers. Yeah. I don't know how many goalies off the top of my head have 300 wins, but this guy's done it on a bunch of different teams. He's gone deep in the playoffs. He hasn't quite got to the dance yet, but Freddie, get yourself a beer, fella. You're going to need to keep it up to get this squad to the promised land.
Yeah, and with Freddie, congrats, Freddie. Unbelievable. I've known Freddie a long time. He worked out with, me and Scott Prohaska, and then Loops came and joined us. And Freddie's a big boy. He was a big boy from Denmark that battled his weight, and I saw the dedication that he had on his diet and his workouts and to stay lean and to stay quick. Like, his body type is... I don't want to lump him in with me, but he looks at food and he gets fat. And I watched this kid change his whole complete life and be one of the most dedicated athletes. That's the reason why he's played 500 games and got 300 wins. And when you talk about David Perron, you're absolutely right. I mean, this Ottawa team is playing great under Greener. They're doing this without Allmark too. Forsberg's absolutely fucking kicking. But now you add Perron back to the second line with Batherson. Now you got something cooking here. He's a big part of this hockey club, and don't look now. They're 2 points behind the Leafs, and they're playing some good hockey, and he's a big reason. I'm glad he's backups.
Yeah, it's going to be great. He's a good addition, incredible two-way player, fucking strong, and he's a cunt out there.
Yeah, and Brady loves him. The boys love him. Yeah. I remember I met him. The Blues were at the Wild Goose. I used to hate David Perron. Like, from times in St. Louis, I just fucking wanted to kill. I wanted to kill him. And he's like, "Hey, Obi, fuck, I hate you on the fucking ice, bud." And then, I ended up hanging out with him because Factor loved him. So I ended up having a couple, and he's a great guy. I'm like, I should have known you were a great guy. And I'll tell you what, skill. skill and vision and prickiness too. Slash you, spear you, like old school. So he fits right in with the Sens. That's another team I'm on the bandwagon with. I love their hockey club. Greener, you're doing a hell of a job.
I was going to ask you this, Holmes, about them. I watched them last night. I watched them for a bit, but he's got those D playing, like those young D playing way harder.
Oh yeah.
He's got Shabbat and Sanderson actually being physical and being on the right side of guys. It's nice to see.
100%. You got to give Nolan Baumgartner some credit there too. Bombers running the back end. They got to go out and get a D though. Steady Stevie, you got to go out and get a D. Somebody, some veteran D out there somewhere. But yeah, I'm with you. Their compete levels through the roof. Their structure's better, and that goes to Greener. So, last but not least, here at Missin Curfew, Mark Prince. He had his fucking ball snipped, boys. He's got the old vasectomy. I was texting him. He was sitting on the couch. I said, listen, grab yourself a 2-4 blue light. Ice your nuts down and get drunk, fella, because you deserve it. So, Princey, get yourself a Labatt Blue. You got snipped. I know another guy that should get fucking snipped here sitting beside me, but I don't think he wants to. But he said it hurt. Princey said it hurt. You're not snipped either, are you?
No.
Princey said it hurt, boys.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. Yeah, that's why do you think there's a bunch of reasons why you don't want to get it done, but I think that's probably one of them.
But what about the main reason of like you can just dump loads wherever you want? You never have to worry about anything. There's a price to be paid pain-wise. I mean, I think I'm firing blanks anyways, but to know that you got nothing going there, like that's.
I just want to make sure the thing works. Like,
what do you mean? You won't get a hard on after?
Yeah, like
don't worry about that. You're fucking. if that's your big.
Stay hard, fellas. That's like the fuck. If you lose that, you're done.
Well, I don't. I think they know where they're snipping around in there, don't they?
They better. Fuck.
Yeah. Fellas, it's the Kits Dish of the Week, presented by Kits Eye Care. You've seen us and the fellas rocking them. Now it's time to get yourself into the game. Go to kits.com and grab a pair of progressive glasses starting at just $88. Use the code CURFEW for 20 off to grab your pair today. You'll thank us later. Fellas, the goal didn't count, boys, because Klingberg was offside. But my Kits Eyewear Dish of the Week is Connor McDavid. 4-3. The place is absolutely buzzing. He's got the puck on the half wall. There must have been 12 sticks, 6 pairs of shin pads. Everybody in the rink knew that he was trying to go backdoor to Draisaitl. This guy must have had his Kits Eyewear on, dusted off, sauces it backdoor to Draisaitl. Short side spink dink. The barn went unbelievable. The barn went absolutely nuts. It's my Kits Eyewear Dish of the Week. I don't care they called it back on a Bush League offside. Up dog. What a dish. What a shot. Fuck, those boys are at the next level.
Buddy, that goal goes in. I'm sitting pretty with my 500 to win. It was plus 450 going. And I'm thinking, these guys come back from down 3-1. It's lights out in overtime, right? Like,
yeah.
And that would have been just epic for TV, by the way. And, like, it's by an inch. Come on, right? Like, fuck. So, no.
Is that on Klingberg? Like, what? I mean, you got to stay on, right? You got to, like, just if McDavid has the puck, just stay on side.
A game like that, though, don't you wish I wish they played more? Toronto and Edmonton playing against each other.
It was one of the best hockey games I watched. And Toronto came out flying. They went up 3-0 before the 10-minute mark, and then the Oilers turned it up without even Ekholm in the lineup. And did Troy Stetcher get bundied in the corner by Matthew Nyes? That Matthew Nyes has turned into a nice player, but. Yeah, the building was unbelievable. It's a shame they only play twice a year. Maybe you make those rivalries or the Canadian team story 3 times a year because it was electric. It was electric. And it sucked that, and I wonder what Chief was doing. He called a timeout. I'm like, he must just be, because it was an onslaught, boys. It was 50 shots. It was heavy. And then I'm like, they're challenging something. And then sure enough, Chris Cuthberg and old fucking, not Reed Simpson. What's his name? Who does the color for Hockey Night in Canada? Not Reed Simpson. Played for
Craig
the fucking
Simpson.
Craig Simpson. They're like, they're challenging it. And sometimes the goalie interference, they don't get wrong. They don't get right. But those video guys, they get those offsides right every fucking time, man.
Well, they clip every time you cross the line. They're clipping it. You know what I mean? They're like checking it. So
that's their only fucking job they have.
Yeah,
they should fucking get it right.
But the NHL, like, just fuck off. Just call it offside, and or just wave it off and let the play happen.
Yeah, it was a terrible way to end the game. And then they still had like a minute and a half left, and they had about 10 more chances that Wool just stood in his head. It was crazy. But Connor, what a dish. He had his Kits Eyewear on. What a game. It was unbelievable. The Oilers are for real. I don't care what anyone says. Updog, always a pleasure to have you back in the studio. Richie.
Happy birthday, fella.
Happy birthday, buddy.
I was going to ask you, this Kit's not shipped to Scottsdale? I don't know. I haven't seen anything at my door.
Yeah, listen, you got to pick out what frames you want, buddy. Let us know which frames you want. Let us know. We'll get them sent right to you. Look at Updog's got a pair.
Come on, baby.
Yeah, we'll get them sent right to you, fella. Hey, you want some readers? What do you need?
I leave it there. Tickle them all, eh?
Tickle them all. Thank you to Hall Pass Media, Kyle Conway, Max Ice Pick Pickup. That was Missin Curfew.
Fellas.